How much of my past and my struggles do I need to like tell my daughter later in life, or does that like cause problems for her growing up?
What brings that question up right now?
So, my daughter and I are kind of butting heads. She's 3, and yeah.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
All right, let's just pause right there. You're right where you need to be, dude.
Okay.
3-year-olds run around and bang their head on every boundary possible to see if it will hold.
Which is what I've heard, and we've come up with the phrase "she's a 3-nager," and it's wonderful.
Correct. You're not a bad dad.
Okay.
I mean, you might be a terrible dad. I don't know, but like, just because she's doing that doesn't mean your marriage is bad. Doesn't mean you're bad. Doesn't mean your past is bad. Doesn't mean anything other than she is 3 years old, and developmentally, she's doing exactly what she should be. And she's saying, "Oh yeah, you say that stove is hot? I'm gonna find out." And this is just a critical developmental time. And that's why when people call me, they're like, my marriage is messy or this is happening and my kid's 3, I always just stop and be like, all right, call me back in 2 years and we'll square up again. It's just that season, man. All right, so y'all are butting heads. And by the way,
yes.
You ever seen those cram videos? I forgot the name of the comedian. They're the best. Like the goat videos. They're like, cram. Don't get into a headbutting competition with a 3-year-old. Everybody loses that one.
Yeah, and I'm learning through that, especially with like what I've been working through the past couple of years.
Okay.
So if you're good with it, I'll just kind of
let it rip,
like
dude. Let it rip.
Tiny story. Okay. Struggling with addiction. Came to a head 2 years ago. Well, 2.5 years ago with an affair. And
yours or
told my
hers?
wife in January. Mine.
Okay.
Told my wife 2 years ago in January, and we've been on the recovery journey. She's been through a lot of intensive counseling, so have I. And we separated for 2 months in 2023, then separated for 6 months last year because we were just Band-Aid fixing and not actually fixing the root issues. We got back together summer of last year, and realizing like my daughter's in my relationship is like, it's okay, it's good, but like there are times where it's like I'm getting frustrated with her. She wants mom more than me. She wants she won't listen to anything I say, even if I'm saying it calmly and kindly. She won't listen to me until my wife says, "Hey, what did dad say?" and listen to dad, and then she'll listen. So I don't know if like
totally developmental.
Okay.
No, there's nothing wrong with your daughter.
Okay, so that's not like I haven't like royally screwed her up with the separation.
No.
Okay.
Your daughter's being 3. My bigger concern is that you're at a place, you're at a fragile emotional state to such a degree that a 3-year-old is threatening the axis upon which your world spins. Let me put it another way. That sounded really dramatic. You're giving a 3-year-old a vote. Like a 3-year-old doesn't get a vote. They're 3. Like I'm not going to give a 3-year-old my bad day. I'm not going to give you my feel like you're 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a reason they can't vote. They don't have a 3-year-old does not have the they can be manipulative, and a 3-year-old can like. I mean, I don't want to get through all Piaget and all that. 3-year-olds are smart and they can be manipulative, but they are not as cognitively complex as adults put upon them.
Okay.
And so she just wants to check in with her mom. That means you and your wife need to be connected there. Or you and your wife need to come up with, she doesn't check in with mom.
Okay.
But that will go away over time. What won't go away is she will very quickly, if she has, I guarantee she already has, she knows how to control dad. I can get dad to leave the room if I push 1 inch past this one line. He'll leave.
Mm-hmm.
I can finally get him to give me that candy if I just push past this one line. Or I'm uncomfortable because daddy's uncomfortable. And I can do this one thing. He'll get mad. He'll spank me. He'll yell at me. And then I can cry and then I'll feel better.
Mm.
But what she's learning is it's her job to make sure dad's emotionally okay. And dude, that cannot be your daughter's job.
Right.
That was alcohol's job. That was your affairs job. And now you've given it to your daughter. That can't be her job. That has to be your job.
Okay.
Is that fair?
Yeah, very. There's been other stressors that I've been like really letting affect me, and my wife has noticed like, hey, you're really stressed about work and it's affecting our home. So like,
Tell me
my
about
wife was very clear. Work is just really stressful. Getting pulled 30 different directions to do everyone's job and covering incompetency from lack of effort from where I work. And I work really hard, and I have a different buy-in because if I don't work, my family doesn't eat. And I've worked really hard to develop that work ethic over the last 2 years. And even my wife said, hey, you're not allowed to bring work home because like of everything that we've been through, we've had very long conversations. We've had boundary talks. We've had rules put in place to keep us both safe. And there are times when the tension of work and just not like really high emotions spill over. And I do tend to get frustrated with my daughter, not because it's my daughter. It's because it's like, I haven't processed other stressors.
Yeah. Make that commitment right now, today. Make today day one. Day one that never happens again. Don't make her carry work too, man. She's 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the other side of that. I keep hearing in your language that you're trying to put yourself in a position where either you're the only one doing it right or you're the victim of a thing. And if you're going to work and you're working really hard, even if you have to clean up other people's mess, but it's paying your bills and it's what you want to be doing every day, then exhale and make peace. You work with a bunch of people who don't do their job. Okay. But if you show up every day expecting that thing to fulfill you too, or I don't want to be like a beautiful mind here where I'm pulling this piece of data and this piece of data and trying to create a whole new story. But of all the different things you're telling me, everything is leading to a guy that is desperately seeking something external to tell him he's got value and he's okay. Yeah,
Definitely fallen into. That's where I used to be. Like that was my biggest like.
Bro, that's you right
voice
now.
That was driving.
That's you right now. That's you right now. You just moved it to something that's not going to get you arrested or get you divorced, which is work. And that's where most sophisticated men move their addictions. Do you have any friends?
Yeah, actually, I've worked really hard to develop really good, close friendships the past couple of years.
Are those guys you can call and just whine about work with for a minute?
100%.
Okay. Do you have an exercise routine to burn some of this off?
Not lately. We just moved, but definitely need to get back into that.
Okay. Not as a place to escape, but a place to channel some of this energy. And kudos to you, my brother, for getting a group of friends. That's awesome. That is amazing.
Thanks.
Often I hear in these situations, wives just become trash bins for their whole day because they're the only person their husband has, right?
Yeah.
Tell me about your addiction. What were you struggling with?
It was pornography.
Okay. Yeah, that even tells me more. Yeah, searching for somebody out there to tell you, help you feel alive.
Yeah.
Where does that come from, man?
That's the house I grew up in.
Okay.
And worked really hard with my counselor to kind of address some of that.
Okay.
But no, it was like I was homeschooled for all 12 years. And so it's like more of a student-teacher relationship than a parent relationship.
Yeah. You've been singing and dancing your whole life, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can I just I don't know if you've ever come across this, but this is just something crazy in my life. I got a letter grade for how I cleaned a bathroom.
Doesn't surprise me.
Okay.
Doesn't surprise me. Wow.
I can't imagine that much would at this point, but like,
Yeah. Well, and I'm just trying to quickly reverse engineer it as a parent. Like, all right, grade, like you don't need to know about chlorophyll, borophyll, but you do need to know about how to clean the bathroom. So I'm going to shift grades to, I can see the logic there, but they can also see a kid being like, dude, I'm 7. I just got to see in bathroom.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Right? I can see that too.
Right.
And so it's like one of those things that, like, as you get older, you'll start to get compassionate because your parents are probably trying to do the best they could. And they were reading a lot of internet and they were like, yeah, we're going to do it different. And then they ended up giving their kid a grade on bathroom counter cleaning.
Right.
Like, so it's like one of those like, oh gosh, this is insane. And also I've been dead in my own skin for 12 years. And now I'm finally free. And then all of a sudden the world hands me this box with every act of depravity known to, in human history.
Yeah.
And
oh yeah.
Now I'm married. Now I got a kid that won't listen to me. Now I got people at work that won't do it. And it just kind of unspools. So what if I flipped it all over, dude, and said this? Are you still fighting on a day-to-day basis to put away pornography?
No, actually that, with a lot of hard work and accountability group, I've been able to find good chunks of sobriety. I had a relapse in January, but since that point, there's been no problem.
Cool.
And before that, it was 9 months. Before that, it was 6 or 7 months.
But what I'm asking is, I asked it in too dramatic of a way, but you're staying vigilant, right? You're still working.
Yep.
Good. Are you done cheating on your wife?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Have you and your wife sat down and begun the healing process to get to the root of all this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, we've worked really hard to get there. We actually had our dreaming vision for this upcoming year meeting like last December, and like a lot of your tips and tools have really helped us.
It's awesome. The next gift you can give your family, and this is a tough one, is to deal with the nuclear reactor that's sitting in the middle of your chest. The one that's always hot, always looking for the next person, always trying to get out of the next thing, always worried about what you just said, always trying to make sure you're impressing the person over there or over there, the one whose head's always on a swivel, the eyes are always moving. Situational awareness 24/7, 365. Right?
Yeah.
It's
exhausting. I'm trying not to care so much what people think, but
I know, but that kept you alive growing up. You had to, because you were getting graded. And listen, your daughter's teeny tiny little body, think of her just as a walking nervous system. I promise you that little girl wants more than anything on planet Earth to run and hug her dad. And her teeny tiny little body is saying, do not do that. He's electric. And I know this, brother, from personal experience. And when I freed myself, I freed her. Now I'm getting all choked up on the radio, man. Hold on.
No, I having a daughter is the wildest adventure I thought I could ever be on.
I know. My daughter, dude, she is a human hurricane, and she fights me every single day, literally and figuratively, and I love it. But it's not from a place of nervous system fear anymore. It's from normal developmental. I've got a really tough, amazing, beautiful little girl who's going to grow up to run some stuff someday. It's not me versus her anymore. It's me with her. But I had to go do my work so that I could show up okay. And I had to get my head off the swivel. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, okay, I hear what you're saying. Now my brain is like trying to think of like practical next steps for how to do that. Is that through counseling? Is that through reading, exercise routine? Like,
Probably both and.
okay.
Probably all the above. When you met with a counselor, were you totally honest about what you grew up with?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I still see my counselor every other week just because there's a lot of stuff I have to work through.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one place that like I've dumped every little thing.
Okay. So I want you to go ask for some very specific practices, not just tools, but practices on reactivity.
Okay.
The nerd word is mindfulness. It's the gap between stimulus and response. We're going to start to lengthen that gap between when your daughter goes, "No, Daddy," and the rage that fires up without you even realizing it. And the rage comes from a perceived lack of control, out of power, out of balance.
That's exactly what it is.
And that came from when you were a little bitty kid because you never had any autonomy in your house. You were getting graded on toilet cleaning.
Huh. I've never thought to equate like that with how I react to my kids.
Bro, you got a grade on how to pee. You got a grade on wiping your deuces. Bro, you've never had autonomy. Not for a second. That's what pornography gives you. It gives you the sense of aliveness. And it's not even the pornography, it's the urge. It's the dopamine buildup. People think dopamine is after you click, it's before you click. It's the build, it's the feeling of. That's the rebellion of a life that has no autonomy. And a 3-year-old little girl just reflects it back to you. And so for the sake of our entire family's souls, dude, you don't get a vote into whether I'm in a bad mood or not. I'm not giving you that. You're 3, for crying out loud. You are going to stop hitting, or you're choosing to fill in the blank. But, okay, cool. Go check with mom. And then when you come back, you're going to do X, Y, and Z. Like, I'm not going to let her make me mad. She's 3. And then what she's going to learn is, oh, mom and dad are united in everything. And then shortly, those need to go check with moms. Those things stop.
Okay.
But you get what I'm saying? I want you to ask your counselor for some very specific tools. Sometimes it's breathing exercises. Sometimes it's journaling. Sometimes it's catching yourself being mad and forcing yourself to walk back and get down on your daughter's level and look her in the eye and put both hands on her face and say, Daddy got too mad and that was not your fault. That was Daddy's fault.
Yeah, that I have done. There have been times where I have walked away, took a breath, and then apologized to her.
Okay. Have you forgiven yourself for cheating on your wife?
I'd like to say yes, but I don't 100% believe that I have.
Okay. Commit to that. Stop carrying it around. If your wife says she's not carrying it around, you stop carrying it. Stay vigilant, but stop carrying it. Go be the next best husband you can be the next minute, and then the minute after that, and the minute after that. Okay?
Okay.
It's game on now, my brother.